I keep thinking they really have two other candidates that at the last minute.
I heard some theory that Biden is off in the wings or whatever.
Oh, jeez.
I think it's too late. Yeah, this is a
7:29.
Like a clock.
5,
Yep.
3, 4, 5.
We got it.
6.
Tom, we're saying you just like a clock, 7:29, right here.
Just like I got to sit down. I got to sit down this time. This second one is Amy here, Joan. Not this one, right?
Bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah, you have to sign,
Oh, that's CMEs.
yeah.
Same way.
Ready?
Turn my ringer on.
Okay, done. Okay, let me get this.
Yeah, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I call the zoning board of adjustment meeting to order for August 24th, 2016. Will everyone rise for the salute to the flag? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Notice of the meeting has been satisfied in accordance with Chapter 231 PL 1975 by advertising in the Home News Tribune, notifying the Centennial Publishing Company and the Star Ledger, and posting on the bulletin board and filing with the Borough Clerk. Roll call.
Mr. Green?
Here.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Here.
Mr. Kreismer?
Here?
Mr. Henry?
Here.
Mr. Emma?
Here.
Mr. Esposito?
Here.
Which one do you want to do?
Let's do, we can do Russell if you, or it's up to you. You want to do this first? We could do Panko. Sure.
I want to call the first application, Alex Panko of the Peter Pank Diner, case number 16-19.
How are you? Mr. Panko, I'm not going to swear you in because this is an informal application, so you can just tell the board what you...
That's fine. I believe you have a picture of the billboard that we have that's on the diner lot.
Is there a microphone there?
Yeah, there's two of them.
Why don't you, let's use one of those microphones.
Pick it up.
Thank you.
All right. There's a picture there that what I'd like to do is be able to repair and replace what's there. I don't want to go any bigger on the sign, you know, the same exact height, dimensions of what the sign is. I'd like to know if we could maybe convert it to LED on both sides, and instead of having like all those posts coming up, do a one post, so it looks neater. I mean, those posts, there's 5 or 6 of them, whatever there is across there, and if I could put it on one post, fix it up. Again, I'm not looking to go any bigger or any smaller than what the sign is, same exact height, measurements across, and I'd be interested in if I could convert it into LED for both sides.
I have a couple questions for you, Mr. Panko. So, you know when this board was put up, how many years ago? A long time ago.
A long time ago.
Okay. All right, and right now, it's just a static billboard? In other words, you just have one vendor is on there, one advertiser is on there?
It's double-sided.
Double-sided?
Yeah, one-on-one,
All
yes.
right, and it's replaced whenever it gets replaced?
Right, when they come in and put the new advertising on. It's usually once a month.
All right, so what you would like to do, though, is to make this a digital billboard?
Yes,
Okay, so with LED lighting on both sides?
yes.
Okay, all right.
And again, you know, I'm not looking to change any sizes, you know, on it, but if you're seeing it, you got all those beams and all. I think it would look better with one
Okay.
main support on it, and it would look better, in my opinion, anyway. I don't know if the board's gonna agree with that, but
Mr. Panko, I notice, I'm looking at this drawing, you have 6 posts now.
right.
Have you talked to anyone as to how many you could get by with other than the 6?
I've been told, I mean, that's why I came to the informal, to see how much further I'm gonna go on this. I've been told we should be able to put it up on one post in the center, and
2 sides.
2 sides.
V, like a V, because you can't do the, you can't have digital on one back-to-back. It's got to be like a V, you know, comes out from the center post. So that's the way the technology goes now. It's-
Okay.
Probably in another 5 years, they'll be back-to-back.
So, Mr. Chairman, I have a question. So, John, what are the variants that would apply to this if he's
Well,
replacing?
we changed a number of years ago billboards to conditional use on Route 9. And so I'm not exactly sure what his conditions would be, but there are a number, probably because of the shape of the property. And then there's some New Jersey licensing for the highway department, you know, for billboards that he has to have before he comes here, according to our ordinance. So
So even,
not even
let's
have-
say it was damaged, you know, there was a hole in this and he was just repairing it, would he need any variances?
I don't think he would need any variances.
What's the difference with, the new one makes it different?
The new ones are the ones now
There are certain
that,
regulations, yeah.
Well, so
the
digital
regulations
makes
and-
it, is,
and everybody wants that kind of, you know, 20-hour, 24-hour, 7 days a week. You know, it has the community benefits then also of, you know, able to, you know, address, you know, some emergency things or whatever, whereas a static billboard doesn't have any of that. So it probably, if you could get it, probably would be,
would be,
more
yeah,
beneficial to the
sure,
applicant.
probably look better too.
and would look better, yeah. Because
Are there any restrictions on how many digital signs you can have, like, within a mile?
Yeah, well, what happens is, and I'm sure, Mr. Panko, there's probably no paperwork showing an approval for this billboard, or is there? All right, actually, our zoning officer is shaking his head, so I think I
Right.
knew all right. So, today, what has to happen is any type of billboard, you have to get a roadside highway permit from the state DOT, and I think the distance limitation is 300 feet, maybe, 500 feet?
something like that.
I think it's 300 feet. You know, so the state has to, you have to put some paperwork into the state.
That wouldn't be a problem.
They look to, you know, they do some investigation, make sure that there's not one that's within 300 feet. They look. to s-
Digital within 300 feet.
Yeah, they look to see if there's any line of sight issues, which I don't really think there would be, because this is up high enough. You know, so once you get that taken care of, then the question is whether or not you would meet the conditional use standards in this zone. Now, if for some reason you meet all the conditional use standards, then you go to the planning board. If you don't meet all the conditional use standards, then you come to this board, and I think what our planner is saying is you're probably not gonna meet all the conditional use standards, so that's why you'd have to come in front of the zoning board, you know, which is fine.
Okay.
You know, I'll give you some more advice. 'cause I
I'll
think
take it.
That's what you're here for, okay?
Absolutely.
You're gonna need an engineer who's gonna have to do a site plan showing where the structure's gonna be located, and, you know, there's certain technical requirements.
Right, and draw a picture and.
Right.
Right.
And then, you know, our engineering, our borough engineer, Mr. Cornell's gonna look at it, Mr. Leon Cavallo's gonna look at it. And since you're seeking a variance, a conditional use variance, it's probably wise to bring in a planner as well, who can support the planning testimony. You're gonna need an attorney too, so.
No, the,
That's
okay, the
for sure.
attorney I got,
Okay.
the planner is where you, like, do I go to the borough engineer?
No, you go to your attorney.
Okay.
If it's an attorney who does land use in this area,
Okay,
they will have planners that they can refer you to, and they'll even, I'm sure, make the arrangements.
that's fine. I've
Um,
actually already spoken to an attorney, so, as far as
Someone
that.
local?
Yes, local.
Okay, good, that's what you need.
Yes.
Someone local who's
Yes,
familiar
I'm
with this
keeping
area.
our local people, so.
Fine, but, you know, I'll add some more information for you. The billboard, and maybe if you guys wanna jump in, I mean, you can't have any flashing on the billboard, there's a requirement of that. I think the message can't change, in other words, gotta be a minimum of, I think, 8 seconds. Of a change.
Cycle for the.
Cycle, yeah. It can't scroll, you know, there can't be certain distractions to the motoring public.
Yes, I have no problem
That's
with
all,
that.
that's all in the ordinance.
Yeah, that I have no problem with.
Mr. Panko, I mean, do you own this, or does another company own it? I see a company's name on there, CBS.
It's, yeah, CBS is who leases it, that piece of property from myself.
I got you.
My father, and this was up before I was born. So there, and we had the fire in '78, so I couldn't find paperwork on this, and I'm trying to get it.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
would tell you, I mean, I'm not an engineer, Mr. Cornell, but I don't, it looks kinda shaky.
right,
But where I was,
So I think-
where I was going is normally the company, like CBS, would come in and kind of do a lot of this work, because they know how to do it. So I don't know if that's possible.
what actually is my contract is up, and they'll come back and re-sign to, I mean, that's not an issue. They will definitely come and re-sign. They'll start coming around about 6 months, in January it'll start because it's up in June. But I just want to be able to repair and replace and do my own thing if I can do it. You know, it's beneficial to me
I got
to
you.
do it my way. It's on my piece of property. So before I let them get into it, and actually somebody had said to me, if you start this process, a lot of times CBS or whoever will come in and do it and, you know, work out a deal with me, which makes it, you know, more valuable.
I mean, because they've been here, you know, doing the variance, so they know what to do, what it takes. So they might be able to help you too.
Yes, I appreciate it, and, you know, somebody told me to get started, and they might come sneaking right in and say, hey, wait a minute, we'll do this, and let's work out an arrangement.
Have you looked at the digital billboards? There's one on 35 South, and there's also one down where the Victory Circle used to be.
Yeah, I've seen them. We have the one actually up in the
At a mini mall.
mini mall there, but that's
Yes.
past my 300 or 500 feet point for sure. If that's what the thing, I'm definitely past 300 or 500 feet.
Because those places did come before this board in the past for these digital billboards. Maybe you might want to look into who the vendor is, et cetera, and that might help your situation too.
Absolutely.
Let me add one more point too. Even if there's another billboard within 300 feet, you probably could make an argument to the DOT that you're grandfathered in, all right? Because you've got an existing billboard that's been there.
I'll take it all. Give me all the information that I can take. I'm taking it.
So anyway,
Yeah, like I said, I know we're definitely past the 300 or 500 feet
all right,
threshold of it.
it's not gonna
and-
be an issue.
What's
Mr.
that?
Chairman, I have one question. The size of the billboard, are there restrictions on digital billboards, how big they can be?
There's certain sizes that the industry goes by, and there's a smaller one, and then there's a larger one. I don't think there's one this big. It may be close, but I don't think it's this big.
Looks to me the newer signs are smaller.
Yeah.
It does, you know, from,
This
But
one
there's
looks
a-
like the biggest
You
one.
know, with the digital, there's only so much you can go
Mhm.
bigger, like Texas Stadium has one that's, I don't know how big, but.
But wouldn't smaller be actually better as opposed to coming before the board and asking to go bigger?
Smaller would be better.
That's what I was figuring, so that's fine. I mean, I have no problem, whatever their one is. I just wanted to make it clear that I don't want to go bigger and, you know, create a whole lot of issues, and, you know, I'm trying to keep it as simple as I can.
Do you think that the DOT might have a problem with the
I don't
size
know.
of that thing?
Well, I don't know,
I mean,
but I
it's
think,
still a huge thing.
yeah, I think, Mr. Panko, the question was whether or not DOT would have a problem. We don't know that answer, but I think the best thing you can do at this point is consult with your attorney,
Okay.
consult with an engineer, all right? And I would hold off on the planner until you know that you're gonna go forward with this, but once you decide you're gonna go forward with it, then you get a planner on board. That's all you need.
Okay, okay. I just came to kind of get a feel if I was like totally out in left field or if I was right. So I have an attorney and I'll be getting in contact with him and hopefully we can make this happen.
Good.
So,
CBS might have an engineer that deals with signs.
oh, I'm sure I'm going to be hearing from them very shortly. So I might want to actually call them. I'm going to talk to my attorney and
Might they have any information from you that they had, that you lost, maybe?
you know what? That sign has been sold, I think, through the years.
They weren't around.
Yeah, it's been sold a couple times, and again, that sign's been there. I'm 52, and it's been there as long as I can remember. It's up there. Actually, down the hallway, there's a picture on the wall, and that sign collapsed during a hurricane in 1971, I think, and the old oak trees next door. So, but that was, if anything I had in that, we had that fire in 78, so I have nothing, and my father, you know, is not here for me to ask, and my mother wasn't really involved in the business at that point, so she didn't know. So I'm working.
Okay. We're looking forward to seeing you back here again when you have some more information for us.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Good night.
Next application is case number 16-17, Kevin Russell, 12 Wilson Avenue.
Mr. Chairman, just for the record, I've reviewed the affidavit of publication, proof of service, and the board does have jurisdiction for this application this evening, so if someone can make a motion to deem it complete, we can proceed forward.
So moved.
Second?
Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, Mr. Russell, please raise your right hand. I'll swear you in. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, please state your name, spelling your last name and address for the record.
Kevin Russell, 12 Wilson Avenue, Parlin, New Jersey, 0008859.
Mr. Russell, you were here a couple months ago,
Yes, I was.
and we approved your application, and now we see that you're back with a different application. Could you explain to the board exactly what happened from the last time you were here until tonight?
Sure. After approval, I began staking out the footprint of the building, 24 by 24. And I just realized that it was too big for the property. It just wasn't going to fit. I mean, I wanted a garage, and I came here and applied for it, and we spent time together. I just realized the placement of it and the footprint, it just was too big for the property. When I had originally done this, I worked with the site plan, which is to scale, and it looked good on the paper, but I guess when you put the footprint out, and you sit back and you look at it, you know, geez, that's just too big. So I came here to apply to, I wanted to go smaller, 20 by 24, and I wanted to move the location. And I wanted to move the location of the building because it just fits better with the aesthetics of the property in the back. So I had retained a lot of things we had discussed in the previous meetings as far as setbacks, et cetera. And so I moved it from the left, I wanted to move it from the left-hand side to the right-hand side, as shown in the survey.
My understanding that the one that we approved previous was 24 by 24, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And you say that that's too big, but this one here is only 4 foot smaller.
Yes, it is 4 foot smaller.
Board have any questions concerning this application?
If I have a question, if I may. Could you explain, now, the approval that we had in the past, what is different on this application than what we approved in the past? Besides moving it over to the other side and making it smaller? Is there anything else different?
Smaller building moving to the side. The only thing I kept on here was the shed. We had talked in the past about demoing the shed. And I would like to keep the shed for the space for all my lawnmower equipment, kids' bikes, et cetera, stuff like that. Besides that, there is no other change. We had talked about the entrance, 12 foot. So I retained all that.
The setbacks are the same,
They're exactly the same.
17 on one side and 22 on the other, that's the way it was?
That's correct, sir.
Okay.
I'm looking at the plan that you gave us, and that entrance gate swings out into the right-of-way, am I correct?
No, that's just an arrow, because I would, for the wording there, to describe that it was a 12-foot entrance gate. It's going to go in. That's just an arrow pointing to the verbiage there.
So the fence is going inward?
It will be going inward, yes. I will either have it going inward or I'm going to have it sliding, but it will not go out.
It won't swing out into the right-of-way.
Will not.
How close is the shed to the property line?
I think the only problem is the fence. I mean, we had discussed it was 2.5 feet. The other setbacks are correct.
Well, it looks like it's from the side property, it's 5 feet if I read this correct. Is that right, John?
From the side, yes.
Shed, though. The shed,
Oh, the shed.
less than 5.
But the shed is existing.
Mr. Chairman, I think your question was on the existing shed. Appears to be less than 5, just based upon the scale, but that's an existing shed.
If I could, the driveway that would be going over, I guess, the sidewalk supposedly that would have been there if one was there, how wide is that going out to the street?
I plan on it being 12 feet, the size of the opening.
Okay.
I have a question I want to ask the engineer. Am I correct that the last application that was before the board concerning this application, we asked that the shed be removed? Am I correct in that statement?
I believe that was the case because that's where the garage and the driveway were located. So in order to construct that, you had to go through and remove the shed.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
I just want, just to be sure that the height is, can you just state the height,
15 feet.
which is the same as before?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just for the record. Thank you. And also, no sewer, no water service?
Correct. No water. Just going to be electric for some lighting inside. And
And the use is for personal use,
completely
no business?
personal use.
Yeah, actually, just for the record, I'm looking at the resolution from last time. The special condition was that the applicant agreed that said detached garage will have no plumbing and heating, will not be used for any commercial purposes whatsoever, will be utilized for personal storage and to house his 2 classic cars, will not exceed 15 feet in height, and the proposed driveway on Harrison Avenue will be single width and no wider than 12 feet at the curb line. So I would suggest that those same conditions be incorporated to any approval on this application as well.
Mr. Cornell, is that shed in violation as it stands on this with that close to that fence line?
It would, Mr. Chairman, because this actually has 2 front yards. So the front yard setback is 20 feet, so the shed would be located within that 20-feet area. But again, it's pre-existing. It's not something that's proposed at this time.
Any other questions? I want to open this application up to the public. Does anyone wish to speak on this application from the public in reference 12 Wilson Avenue?
Sir, please raise your right hand, I'll swear you in. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name, spelling your last name, address for the record.
David Kuo, K-U-O, and it's 3275 Washington Road.
Could you use the microphone, please?
Yeah, David, K-U-O, right?
K-U-O.
Okay, thank you. And what was the address again?
3275 Washington Road.
And where are you in relation to Mr. Russell's property?
I'm over to the southeast of the property, catty corner.
Are you lot 590?
I'm not actually sure the lot number.
You're on the corner lot of Washington and Harrison?
That's correct.
Okay.
So I just really had a question regarding the reference to the setback for the driveway. How far back from the Harrison side of the street is it? Is that what's been specified as 17?
17, yeah, it's 17 at one point and 22 at the other because it's angled.
Okay.
It's 5 feet off. I believe your property line butts up against this lot, your
Yes,
back property line.
that
It's
is
5 feet off of your back property line, and it's 17 feet at the closest point from Harrison.
From Harrison. Okay, 17 feet?
17 feet.
Okay. All right, that's really the only question I had.
And Jay, just to clarify that'd be 17 plus was it 5 feet to the actual street itself or something like that?
It's typically, well, it's a 40-foot right-of-way, so it's probably 5 feet, yes.
So it'd be
that's-
almost
this is
22
from-
feet from the curb back to the garage.
There's no curbing there, but from the edge of pavement,
Okay.
approximately 5 feet to the property line, then 17 to the closest point. The other side of the driveway is 22.
Right.
27.
I guess the other question would be, where would be the, how would it be centered, the driveway? Is it more to the, I guess, to the south? Or would it be to the?
It's actually to the north, based on this map, it's to the north. It's not centered, the driveway is 20-foot wide. It's offset heading up Harrison Street, so not towards your property. It's,
Closer to
it's-
the shed?
yeah, not, it's a couple feet off center, but it's
Okay.
to that shed side as opposed to your property side.
And 12 feet wide, right?
12 feet wide, correct.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone else from the public wishing to speak on this application? Anyone else wish to speak on this application?
Portion be closed.
Second.
Public portion is now closed.
Making a motion, we approve the application with the conditions that we had previously.
Second the motion.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Kreismer?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes.
Mr. Emma?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Russell, it's approved. You'll have your resolution at the next meeting.
Thank you for your time.
We got two of them.
Yeah, we got
I have a resolution here, application 16-16, Paul Sislo of 124 Dolan Street. It's lots 146-150, block 168.11. What is the pleasure of this board concerning this resolution?
I move that the resolution be approved as written.
Second?
Roll call vote?
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Kreismer?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
The next resolution is application 16-14, T-Mobile Northeast LLC, 491 Ernston Road, Block 1-02, Lot 445. What is the board's pleasure on this resolution?
Move the
Make a motion.
resolution be approved as written.
Second?
Roll call?
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Kreismer?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Nothing else.
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Well, the minutes.
Anyone else have anything to speak on before this board?
The minutes. We gotta
The minutes.
yep.
Has everyone had the opportunity to read the minutes from last meeting?
Yes.
Move that move that the minutes be approved.
Second?
Okay. Make a motion that the meeting be adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
Meeting's adjourned.
Can't do better than that. Need to throw another meeting. Yeah, I'm sure.
Gonna wanna change something.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
It's gonna be tough maneuver in a 12-foot driveway, I'll tell you. He's gonna have a hard time.
He wasn't gonna say anything, I wasn't gonna.